Hi guys, thanks for joining me for this Yoga Sidsel video, the first video in a series for beginners. So in this video, we're going to be exploring the flow, looking at some simple variations of the sun salute to help you build up strength and confidence to move through the flow, which in a lot of classes is tying the different sequences together. So let's get started. See you on the mat. So let's get ready to flow. We'll start at the top of the mat in our mountain pose. And you can choose to have the feet hip distance if you'd like to measure. That's 2 of your own fists between the knuckles of the big toes. Or if you feel you're not too wobbly today, you can try and bring your feet together. And then having your legs nice and strong, but not so straight that you begin to lock your knees. Gentle toning of the buttocks. And then lengthening your lower back, bringing the rib cage in. And we start with a salute of the sun. The hands float up, breathing in through the nose. Soften the knees and you curl forward. Bring your fingers to the floor. Once your fingers on the floor, you can begin to straighten your legs. Inhale for a half lift, looking forward. And then bring your hands to the floor and step the right leg back. And then you step your left leg back, downward facing dog. From here, you come forward to your high plank, the hips staying in line with the shoulders. Bring your knees to the mat, and we'll practice some rounds of up cat and down cat. So the hips in line with shoulders, or the knees in line with hips, and the wrists in line with shoulders. Inhale, the eyes come forward, the heart comes forward. And as you exhale, you round your spine, like an angry cat pressing your spine towards the ceiling. And again, eyes forward, heart forward. And again, round the spine. So this is a really nice way to warm up the spine. This can easily be the first flow that you practice when you get on the mat. And round your spine. Then you tuck your toes and you begin to lift your knees and take your butt back. Our downward facing dog, the upside down V. And maybe it looks a little bit more like a U for you. And then you're going to lift your heels, you're going to bend your knees, and then you're going to step your right foot forward. And if it doesn't get there in the first attempt, you can help with your hand and bring the foot forward. The back foot steps forward, fingertips on the floor, eyes forward, half lift, curling in. Knees soft, the buttocks tone, and then you roll up. We salute the sun. We bring the arms down. That was one round. We'll try it one more time. Sweeping the hands up and curling down. Fingers to floor, head to knee. Eyes forward, heart forward. This time step your left leg back. Hands flat. And then maybe you step the right leg back. And you slowly ease into your down dog. Bring your knees to the floor. Eyes forward, heart forward. Exhaling, round the spine. Eyes forward, heart forward. And round the spine. Eyes forward, heart forward. Broadening across the chest and collarbones, and then around your spine. With your rounded spine, tuck your toes, lift your knees, and take your bum back. And as you take your bum back, your spine will lengthen out and straighten out, but you're still trying to round it. So you keep the spine nice and long. You don't want to stick your butt up, because then you're going to collapse into the lower back and you'll feel more pulling on the back of your legs. So sit bones towards the back of your knees and the back of your heels. Bend your knees as much as you need to. The spine stays long. And then you step the left foot forward. Again, you can always help with a hand. And the right foot steps forward, eyes forward, and then you curl in. Round up, roll up, reaching for the stars, saluting the sun, and bringing your arms down. Now we're going to look at some of the push-ups. Sweeping up, saluting the sun, and you curl down. fingertips to floor, knees as bent as they need to be. Eyes forward, heart forward, step your right leg back. Then step your left leg back, downward facing dog. We come forward to our high plank. Bring your knees to the mat. Round your spine like your angry cat. And then bring your heart forward, gaze forward, but the lower back stays nice and long. So you're half an angry cat and you're half an up cat. And then as you lean forward, your elbows line up with wrists. You bend your elbows. They're trying to point straight back. You might bend your elbows to a 20-degree angle, or a 30-degree angle, or a 45, or maybe even a 90. And then push yourself back up. And again, heart forward, looking a little forward. And you bend your elbows a little or a lot. And then you push back up. And find down dog. And little by little, as you repeat the flow, you notice different changes occurring in your body, and your legs might begin to straighten a little more. Your spine might lengthen a little more. And then you're going to step the right foot forward, the back foot forward, eyes forward, and curl in. Rounding up, rolling up, saluting the sun, and your hands down. We'll try that one more time. Floating up. So each variation we're going to do twice to help you build familiarity. Eyes forward, heart forward. Hand flat, left leg steps back. Might find your high plank. You might like to go to down dog. And then coming to your high plank, bring the knees to the floor. Round your spine. Eyes forward, heart forward. Lean forward. And begin to bend your elbows. And you never want your shoulders to come lower than your elbows. Then it's going to really strain your shoulders. And that's not worth it. Push up, tuck your toes, and press back. There's a bit of a tug of war happening between your hands and your hips. Your hands are pressing down and forward. Your hips are trying to pull away from the hands. And then you step your left foot forward, step the right foot forward, eyes forward, and curl in. Soften the knees, frame your buttocks, and roll up. And bring your arms down. Now we'll look at the push-up from the floor and up. So sweeping the hands up, curling down, fingers to floor, knees as bent as they need to be. They might already be lengthening or straightening a little bit more. Eyes forward, right leg back, left leg back, high plank. Now bring your knees to the mat and lower you down onto your bellies. Keep your hand underneath your elbows, point your toes, and tone the buttocks. Now we're lifting the hips, the belly, and the rib cage all at the same time. So keep the idea of the heart forward, your hands pull back, your elbows pull back, and you lift just a little and lower down. So the hands pull back, the elbows pull back, and that helps to open across the chest and collarbones. The buttocks tone, the hips, the belly, and the chest lift at the same time. And lower. And then third time lucky, you're going to press yourself all the way to the top. And go. Tuck your toes and take it back to down dog. The down dog is a forward fold. You're bending at the hips. Lengthening out the spine and the back of the legs, the entire back of the body. Then you're going to step forward, fingers on the floor, eyes forward, and curl the head into your knees. Soften the knees, firm the buttocks, rolling up, and bring your arms along your side. Now we're going to add on the back bend. So, sweeping up, palms might touch, and curl down. Fingers to floor, head to knee. Eyes forward, heart forward. Step the right leg back to your lunge. Step the left leg back to your plank. Bring your knees to the floor. Lean the weight forward and come down onto your bellies. Point the toes, firm your buttocks. Now we're lifting the hands, so only the muscles of your back and along the spine engage, and lifting your head and shoulders off the floor. There's a baby cobra. And lower down. Hands touch the mat, forehead rests. And again, lifting your hands, your head and shoulders, your elbows lift a little higher. So building strength along the back of your body. And then lower down. Bring your wrists in line with elbows. And then using our push-up practice from before, the hips, the belly, and the ribs push up at the same time. And back to down dog. So now the down dog, the forward folding of the down dog, helps to counterpose the back bending of the cobra. Step your right foot forward, step your left foot forward, eyes forward, and curling in. Soften the knees, firm the buttocks, rolling up. Sweep your hands up above and your arms along the side. And we go again, round 2. Sweeping up. And curling down. Fingers to floor, head to knee. Eyes forward, heart forward. And then stepping your left leg back. Lunge, right leg back, plank. Knees to the floor. Lean forward, maybe bend your elbows really slowly, just playing with your push-up. And come all the way to your bellies. Point the toes, press them into the mat. Firm your buttocks, lift your hands off the mat, lift your head and shoulders. Maybe you already can lift a little higher and lower down. And again, lifting up. Hands come off the floor. Baby cobra and lower down. Wrists under elbows. Using your own power to gently push hips, belly, ribs off the floor and find your way back to down dog. Lengthening out the spine after the back bending cobra. Falling forward at the hips after the hip extension of the back bend. And then stepping foot forward, meeting at the top of the mat and curling in. And rolling up. So in yoga you'll often find one pose counterposed by the next. So we're always trying to create balance, forward bends and back bends, side bends, twists. Now we're going to add on a deeper cobra. This is the last variation. Salute the sun. Let your hands float up and curl down. Fingers to floor. Notice the back of your legs. They might feel a lot longer already. Eyes forward. Hands flat, right foot back, lunge, left foot back, plank. Knees to the floor. Shift your weight forward and come down onto your belly. Point the toes, firm your buttocks. Keep your hands on the floor, but lift your elbows. Then lift your chest, your shoulders and your head. And your hands are pressing down, but your elbows lifting up. So it's still mostly the muscles along your back working, and you're not pushing yourself further into the posture. When the muscles support, or when the muscles are working, we're much more supported and stable. Lower down. And again, hands push down, elbows lift up. Rib cage, shoulders, head. And lower down. And then we're using all of that to push the hips, the belly, and the chest at the same time up and back to down dog. Tug of war between the hands and the hips. The hands press down and forward, the hips pull back. Press the rib cage, the front ribs towards the back ribs, lifting the ribs up towards the sky. Feel the spine lengthen. And then stepping right foot forward, left foot forward, eyes forward, heart forward, and finally exhaling into your deep forward fold. Rounding and rolling up, reaching up, and arms along your side. Last one, let's go. Float the hands up, breathing in through the nose, And exhaling out through the nose, curl down. Fingers on the floor, eyes forward, heart forward. Exhaling, step left foot back, right foot back, knees to the floor. Shift the weight forward, lower all the way down. Press the feet down, the buttocks tone, hands down, chest, shoulders, head, lift and lower. Inhale to lift into your Cobra and lower. And pushing your hands down, toning your buttocks. We're lifting the hips, the belly and the ribs all at the same time, pushing up and back to your down dog. Lengthening the spine. Maybe your knees are already straightening a little bit more. The heels are getting a little bit closer to the floor. And then stepping the left foot forward, the right foot forward, eyes forward, heart forward, and exhale, head to knee. Curling all the way up. Reaching up, saluting the sun, and bringing your arms down. Finishing where we started. And maybe this is the end of your practice, or you might like to continue on to the next video.